YNW Melly appears in court. Judge goes off. Life sentence. As we all know, YNW Melly's case has been very interesting and unfortunate. But now that this case is finally coming to an end, things are starting to get out of hand. It's tough to say, but the truth is, things aren't looking very good for Melly. Just a few days ago, YNW Melly appeared in court for a judge, and just as things started seriously looking bad for Melly, they somehow got even worse. It seemed like YNW Melly and the judge had a bad energy towards each other, or something. It was truly revealed when the judge could no longer hold back his temper and ended up going off on Melly in front of everyone. The court footage that was released of this incident has people shocked. YNW Melly's case has been a long and annoying case, but after years of him and his team fighting to go back to his normal life, it's not looking good for Melly. There's much more evidence proving that he is actually guilty and responsible for the passing of his two friends. I can't lie, I'm a huge fan of YNW Melly. He's always been a great artist and was definitely on his path to being one of the most popular rappers of his generation. But just a few days ago, the court published 60 pages of new evidence on Melly's case. There's some pretty straightforward proof that Melly committed this crime, and the consequences might be super serious. This is far more than just rap or a common rapper arrest case. YNW Melly is looking at facing a life penalty. His life is literally on the line, and it's sad to see. The victims' families want justice for their children, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna let Melly get away very easily. They want Melly to be punished, and it's looking like they really have no mercy for YNW Melly. YNW Melly's whole scheme has been solved, and the story behind this whole case is literally ridiculous. It's so hard to believe, but all of the new evidence that was released clearly proves that Melly is guilty for the passing of his two friends. YNW Melly and his other friend that was in on the scheme, known as YNW Bortland, had this whole thing planned. Nobody knows the true reason they did this to their so-called friends, but I guess the true reason really doesn't matter in court. What matters is what happened, and what happened is YNW Melly and Bortland set up their two friends and took their lives. They had this whole thing planned months before it actually happened. It seems like there was a weird energy between Bortland and Melly and their other two friends who were also a part of the YNW group. At the time, YNW Melly was just starting his career and finally started to see results come in. It was the perfect time for him to stay committed to rap and monetize the business model as much as he can. But instead, he was too focused on his old plan and decided to stick to it. As a result, he took his own two friends' lives and now is looking at facing a life sentence or potentially losing his life to a penalty. After years of investigation, lawyers have found some serious evidence proving that YNW Melly is guilty. But some people still have hope that Melly can beat this case. I truly hope Melly is innocent and comes back to the rap game, but the evidence that lawyers have gathered up is pretty convincing. After tracking Melly's phone on the day of his friend's passings, things started to look like Melly isn't telling the truth about everything. Melly's story is that he and his four friends were leaving the studio when they were approached by a car that started shooting at the right side of Melly's car. Melly and his friend who survived were on the left side of the car, Bortland being in the driver's seat and Melly sitting on the back left side. Melly's story sounded believable, considering the right side of the car was the side that got shot up. But after lawyers did some research and tracking of YNW Melly's phone, they seem to have found some suspicious movement at the time of the so-called drive-by. They noticed the Melly's location moving out of the car and around to the side of the car that got shot. They think that Melly took his friend's life while in the car, then got out and walked around to the other side and shot it up to make it look like they were involved in a drive-by. Melly's story held a pretty good argument up in court. That is, until the police found the same bullet shells that were outside the car under the backseat carpet in the car. After the evidence was found, everything started to turn against Melly, and now he's looking at facing the biggest punishment of his life. As sad as it sounds, this one mistake may be their reason he loses his life. Melly's case is obviously very unfortunate, and I hate to see him have to go out like this. We've lost a lot of rappers in the game, and it's sad because the losses are permanent. If YNW Melly has to face a life sentence, the rap game is seriously going to take a dent. Melly has worked with legends, and with the little time that he's had in the game, he's made a great name for himself. With a little hope that is left for Melly in this case, I want to see him released from prison and making his comeback to the rap industry. Be sure to subscribe to the updates about the latest YNW Melly news and updates. Thanks for stopping by. See you guys next time.